They say history is written by the victors, but sometimes it's written in blood. Hi, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Today we're headed to Egypt to explore the ruins of one of the world's greatest libraries, where archaeologists just discovered a terrifying relic from its ancient past. According to legend, the city was founded by Alexander the Great in 331 BC and later became the capital of his vast empire. But when Alexander died, his general Ptolemy I took over and established a new dynasty called the Ptolemaic dynasty. And that's when things got kind of weird. Instead of being laid out in rows or stacked on top of one another, the tombs were arranged in a circle around a large compass-like disc. In fact, the team uncovered several scraps of pottery bearing the imprint of a maker's stamp. One reads, Year 12 of Ptolemy, which fits perfectly with historical records, indicating that the Great Library was completed around 283 BC, give or take a few years. The message reads, Turn me and I will show you where truth lies. And if that sounds like a cryptic clue, well, it may be. You see, the disc at the center of the room appears to be a sundial, a device used to tell the time based on the position of the sun. It's a reminder that history is written in blood, and sometimes the truth lies beneath the surface. But the team soon realized that it was also a compass of sorts. Each cardinal direction was marked with a different symbol, allowing the user to determine north, south, east, and west. And each point corresponded to one of the tombs around the edge of the room. What's more, the entire apparatus could be rotated, causing the shadows cast by the symbols to change depending on the angle. This suggests that the inscriptions weren't just random, but were placed there intentionally to correspond with specific locations throughout the city of Alexandria. And if that's not enough to blow your mind, there's more. According to archaeologist Ayman Ashur, the team believes that these locations may be burial sites. So far, they've checked 2 of the points, and both led to unmarked graves. Needless to say, they're hesitant to pursue it any further. But the most interesting part is the blood. See, when the team conducted an initial survey of the site, they didn't notice anything unusual. There he uncovered a third tomb, one that had remained hidden for centuries. But it wasn't just any tomb. Inscribed on the wall was his name. And while that may seem like a coincidence, there is a good chance that he directly descended from one of the people whose bones lay buried beneath the library. After all, the city was home to a sizable Jewish community during the Hellenistic period, and intermarriage between Greeks and Jews was common. In other words, the compass didn't lead him to the past, it led him to the future. However, after examining the tombs more closely, they realized that the floor had been covered with a thick layer of sand, almost like someone had tried to hide it. Why did whoever buried the original owner of the compass want it to be found so many years later? The answer may have something to do with the city itself. Throughout its long history, Alexandria has been sacked, destroyed, and rebuilt countless times. The library was damaged by fire, earthquakes, and war, and much of it has been lost forever. But the remaining ruins are a testament to the city's enduring legacy. And when they finally removed the sand, they discovered something shocking. Each of the tombs had a bloody handprint pressed into it. Now, if this were a normal archaeological discovery, we might think nothing of it. None of the skeletons showed signs of trauma, meaning the prints were likely made sometime after the burials. But why? And if that's not enough to freak you out, there's more. According to archaeologist Ayman Ashur, who's heading the excavation, these marks may have been created during a ritualistic ceremony. He explains that in ancient times, it was common practice to cover the floor of a tomb with sand and then press a person's hand into it. Then, when the sand dried, it would be swept away, leaving behind only a faint impression of the handprint. This allowed the deceased person's spirit to enter the tomb without having to physically pass through the entrance. Think of it as a kind of spiritual entryway. And since the handprints were still visible when the archaeologists arrived, It means whoever made them must have done so fairly recently, at least in terms of ancient Egyptian standards. Unfortunately, we don't know exactly when this happened, or who was responsible, but we do know that some of the tombs had been robbed in antiquity, suggesting that someone may have returned to bury a member of their family in the same place multiple times. After all, circular tombs aren't unheard of in ancient Egypt, but this is where things start to get weird. See, Ptolemy wanted to make himself look important, so he started spreading rumors that he was related to Alexander, claiming that they were both descended from the legendary king of Macedon, Achilles. Now, historians tell us this isn't true, but propaganda can be a powerful tool, especially when you're trying to convince people that you're divine. And the Ptolemaic dynasty ruled Egypt until 30 BC when Cleopatra committed suicide rather than submit to the Roman Empire. So grab your passport, pack your bags, and don't forget your sunscreen, because we're going somewhere hot. Our first stop is the city of Alexandria, located on Egypt's Mediterranean coast. They soon noticed something strange, a circular room buried deep beneath the library's ruins. Intrigued, they carefully excavated the area by hand, revealing a stone-lined shaft leading down into a subterranean chamber. But before they could venture any further, they had to wait. You see, the entrance opened up into a tomb, and Egyptian law forbids disturbing a sealed tomb. So they had to wait until they could get approval from the Egyptian Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities. Once permission was granted, they descended into the unknown. These days, visitors come from all over the world to see what's left of Alexandria, including its famous library, which was once home to 500,000 scrolls and clay tablets. But much of it has been destroyed over the years. To learn more about the library's fascinating history, we'll head underground to explore the ruins that lie beneath the bustling streets of modern Alexandria. It all began in 2020, when researchers from the University of Vienna used ground-penetrating radar to survey the site. Inside the chamber, they found a collection of tombs carved into the walls, each containing a skeleton. But there was something strange about the layout. According to archaeologist and epigrapher Daniel Poles, who's been excavating the site for the past 5 years, the compass dates back to the late Ptolemaic era. Now, it's important to note that the team only found these prints inside the chamber. But there's yet another twist to this tale. As the team continued excavating, they uncovered a small shard of pottery with a mysterious inscription on it. Eager to discover the truth, he snuck into the site after dark and followed the compass to its next location. But one student wasn't so cautious. As exciting as this discovery is, there's one question that remains unanswered. In the end, our journey takes us back to the compass, a relic from a bygone era that has survived for nearly 2,000 years. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe and join us for our next adventure.